Hey everyone, welcome back to Dirk Island. This segment is worth watching. We are talking about Knock Down the House, the documentary on Netflix about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her primary election win over Joe Crowley, and also it was a little bit about 3 other people who didn't win. But anyway, what'd you think, Alec? Worth watching? Worth people's time?
I'm going to give it a solid 6. Maybe worth watching. Listen, if you're just in America and on social media or watch cable news in the next couple of years, you're probably going to have AOC shoved down your throat anyway, so you don't necessarily need to go out of your way to watch this documentary. It's interesting as someone who's already heard about her a ton and gave me some context of, you know, who Justice Democrats were, who this organization that brought this fresh class of Congress people in. There's some good moments, but you know, at the end of the day, compared to a lot of other people, I just wasn't as impressed.
Okay, so knowing that you're going with the 6, so I was conflicted on this. My actual thing is I would say it's a 9. Definitely worth watching. And obviously this is one that we had a very different reactions to. And my review, 9 is a super high rating for us. It is beyond just if you like documentaries, you might like watching this. And perhaps you're someone who would know if you would like watching this because maybe it's a story that's going to resonate with you. If you already have a tinge of maybe you should watch this, I would say definitely worth watching. But also maybe for some people who don't even like AOC, like this might be worth watching for them too. And that's why I say it's even beyond for the people who just are into documentaries. I'm conflicted about this. I don't think that this review also it's never about whether or not this documentary is good or bad on is it a good documentary category. This is whether or not it's worth your time, whether or not it's potentially going to do something for you, give you another perspective in life, another tool in the tool set. I think that the most impressive thing to watch about this is you're just like can't stand that I am like
I'm loving the difference of opinion.
Yeah, the thing that I thought was so incredible about this is that when I saw her come out onto the stage and ask certain questions there was a specific interview with her about what she thought about Middle Eastern policy, and she like flubbed it, didn't know what she was doing. I've had no seeing her that made me particularly impressed. I knew she was powerful. I knew people fucking obsess over her. It seems like they're threatened a bit, but people are like, she creates this media circus, and I haven't seen anything that she's said that's been super impressive. So when I saw this was like a lot of the story before I even heard of her. It's the story of her winning this primary defeat over this Democrat who was number 4, possibly going to be the next Speaker of the House. Number 4 power, seniority, been there for a long time, huge power broker, and she beats him. And what I think is so impactful about this is that, obviously I think it is important for people. Politics for me is a bit of a form of entertainment. Like I pay attention to politics as much as a lot of people pay attention to football or baseball or whatever. And I think it's pretty good if people were to spend more time thinking about politics. I think it's important, even if they come to a position that I wouldn't necessarily agree with. So I like that this might inspire people to think more about politics, perhaps even care about politics, get involved, or just whatever it does for them. Just I like that it exists as a documentary for that purpose. I think that there are people that might see this documentary and actually might be inspired to do something positive for our country through politics. There are also people who might just be like, yeah, there's a bit of a demagogue feeling to it, and that's a lot of how she wins. And she's got a real skill that is demonstrated through this. She's got a talent. There's a scene where she's talking about her, whether or not she can win, and whether or not, there's a lot of these scenes actually, where she's talking about whether or not the Democrats in New York, understand, because everyone basically thought she couldn't win until it was too late. Mm-hmm. And she's saying basically like, they don't get it. They're just saying like, oh, we're not going to deal with Trump. They don't give any specific policy positions. Then she comes out there with some of her policy positions, which have been widely criticized now for being kind of ridiculous or not fully knowing or whatever. And so there's a lot of legitimate critiques, but she has skill when it comes to the debates. When she gets up and she gets the mic, she can talk. She's like not nervous in a way that's almost it seems like she has skills that you don't know where she got them from. And I think it tells a really interesting story about her overcoming a challenge and winning in this kind of small race, but winning, but in a way that was very impressive to me, not because of like the things she said or because like saying things like abolish ICE is like the most whatever, but the thing's more impressive, like, should we have gone into Iraq or not? And her just being like, I think it was stupid. Why did anyone do it? Like, I thought she had skills. And she had confidence, and the confidence to me was very impressive, not just because she was faking the confidence, but because I think she actually had that combination of the skills that it took, and even though she was a 28-year-old bartender, like actually had the public speaking skills to take on this guy who had the seat, to stand up for what she believed in. Now maybe her beliefs are not I don't think she won only because she had ridiculous policies that can never come into place. I think that she won because she is a presence. She has lots of she has a great presence in her ability to actually answer a question directly, even if she says something that might be not that smart economically or historically or stupid or whatever, foreign policy wise. I think she has a lot of skill, and I think it would be nice. I think it's just undeniable. And I didn't know that before watching that, and I think also there's I was a bit moved just because I thought that she had a goal. She had a good strategy. She had a lot of confidence. That confidence seemed to me to add something to my worldview about how people actually do what she did. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just the story that you might hear otherwise, that is, she won as a minority in a majority-minority district. I think there's more to the story there. I think it was very impressive, and that's why I think it is definitely worth watching.
Well, I felt like that was a good characterization of why I've had enough of this already before I even saw the documentary. No, it was solid. I just obviously had a different reaction than that. But a well-made, interesting backstory. Just not essential viewing from my perspective. I mean,
I also thought
you can't help but get you can't help but get a lot about AOC, whether you want it or not.
Yeah. But I thought she was I think also I always give something better if I think I'm going to feel a way and then I feel the opposite way. And I think I had I don't think this is probably going to be that good. And then I felt like it was like a huge surprise to me. And I really like when a movie does that. And maybe that's just a bad me setting my expectations. But I thought it has a place. And I think I might think about this documentary many times more, which is for how many we watch. Not all of them really get that place, and that's why I really felt like I had to push this up to a 9, which is a extremely high score on our worth watching scale.
Yeah, I mean, I've already brought this up to people because of the relevance of AOC and being on Netflix and a well-made documentary. I mean, I feel I will talk about this documentary again, but I had that different reaction where I thought, went in not knowing if it would do so much for me, and I just don't feel like it added some incredible piece to the AOC story or even the those 2018 midterm elections. I'm in a bubble.
The bubble of Los Angeles.
I'm in a bubble of Los Angeles and the entertainment industry where I'm thinking I'll get so much hate for saying anything but how much I love this documentary and AOC. And it was good.
But on the internet, you're probably in the majority.
Yeah, people are gonna. So fair enough.
Anyway, okay. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to keep up with us, please subscribe on YouTube, or you can also listen to the podcasts, which are available on Apple Podcasts. Thanks very much.